and welcome to Our Ventura TV. I'm MB Hanrahan, and today my guest is Joseph Summers, and he is representing the Diversity Collective of Ventura County.
That's right.
Joseph, you can give us your title if you like, but let's just dive into it. Describe the Diversity Collective, the history of it, and kind of what you're about.
Yeah. So I'm actually the president of the board of Diversity Collective at this point. I've been a community volunteer for over 20 years, and I'm pleased to be in my position with Diversity Collective. We incorporated in 2014 with the mission to continue Ventura County Pride, which was our biggest festival, our biggest LGBTQ event of the year here in the county. About a year in, we decided that we wanted to expand and bring back a community resource center.
So in other words, be more than like an event.
Right, be more than just, if we were just Ventura County Pride, I would be pleased.
Of course.
But we decided that we could make our community events into fundraisers and use those funds to bring back a community resource center.
Oh.
I know, it closed, the center that we had closed in 2009.
I see.
So we were without a center for some time. 5 years. So we really thought that our Ventura County needed one, and so we worked super hard, and we were able to open a community resource center in 2017.
And it is currently?
Currently we are located in a 4,200 square foot facility on 2471 Portola Road, okay. Suite 100. We have partnered with different community organizations in order to cover the overhead costs.
Sure.
Diversity Collective maintains about, I'd say 70% of the cost, but we do have different organizations that help us do that, so we're not just doing it alone.
To keep the doors open.
Keep the doors open, yeah.
That's what we want. Oh my goodness. Okay, so you, as per the title, countywide and nonprofit, so you're in Ventura. And how do you outreach, or how does that happen that we're countywide?
Yeah, so we have, since we've opened the center, we have launched different programs that are countywide. We have a HIV/AIDS education and prevention program that is funded by our annual AIDS Walk, which we launched in 2015. We have a youth program called Rainbow Umbrella, which is countywide, that is for youth, LGBTQ youth, 13 to 23. And then we do outreach and different events throughout the county. We will table at health fairs all over the county to talk about our different programs. We do panels or public speaking all over the county to talk about our programs. And we decided on Ventura just because of the relationship that we had built with the city. We had our original offices were located in the nonprofit facilitator behind City Hall.
Right.
And so we had really developed a close relationship with our city council members, with employees, with the different departments.
And they knew you.
And they knew us, they knew Diversity Collective. So we felt like we needed to keep the center in Ventura, just because those relationships that we had built, but we know that we need to do outreach countywide. We know that Oxnard is our largest city in the county, and so it has the largest population, which means it'll have the most LGBTQ community members. So we know that we need to do outreach all over the county, but we felt like we needed to stay in Ventura because of the relationships we had built over the years.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to talk about youth. How about that one? So do you get the information out at school? Do you contact counselors? How do you attract, besides having this name? I just Googled your name. Great, website came up. I learned a lot. But let's talk about, because it just seems like that is so critical.
Yeah, we want to start.
I mean, everybody's critical. Everybody's important. Everybody's critical, but.
Yeah. Well, if we start with the youth, hopefully they'll have a long, wonderful life, right? So Rainbow Umbrella has been around for a while. It was its own 501c3 nonprofit for probably 5 years. I think it incorporated in 2014 as well. Recently this year, Diversity Collective's board and Rainbow Umbrella's board got together and decided to make Diversity Collective take on the program. It just made sense. They were housed in our center, so Diversity Collective took on the organization. We have a youth group that meets every Friday at 5:30 at the center.
Which is invitational, right? It's whoever.
It's for LGBTQ, queer or questioning youth and their allies. It's 13 to 23. It's peer-based support, so it's the youth facilitating each other, helping each other. Right. There is some clinical support, but we just find that youth come into the door. Sometimes they're depressed, they're lost, all sorts of ailments are happening, health-wise or mental. And after just a month or so of being with their peers, with their people, we find that they're just completely different people and completely different youth. And it's just a wonderful thing to see. And part of that program as well is we have trainings that we give into the public, cultural proficiency, cultural competency trainings that we provide through our Rainbow Umbrella program to organizations or individuals who work with youth, so that they are knowledgeable about the needs, special needs of our LGBTQ youth. So we're excited to have that as well as part of the program.
That sounds brilliant. Yeah. One thing I noticed on your website was all the resources that you listed. And it seems like that's something that would also come out of the peer-to-peer conversations. Yeah. People feel they're so alone until they talk with people like, oh, well, I went over here, or I did this, or I did that. And for information as well. Yeah,
we do have a lot of resources that we provide through the center and through our programs. Diversity Collective knows that there's a lot out there for our community. We don't want to reinvent the wheel. Instead, we support the programs that are out there, and we're always referring the LGBTQ community to the resources here in the county. Mm-hmm.
So you touched on HIV and AIDS education and prevention, which is a beautiful thing. Do you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, what does that look like?
Well, for us, for a while there, when the organization that did the HIV and AIDS, the community-based organization that did the work, closed its doors and closed its community resource center, there was no community-based HIV and AIDS education going on in our county. It was all government. The county is doing a great job, but there was no community-based education going on. Okay. So Diversity Collective wanted to relaunch a program that came from the community for the community. So we are doing education and prevention work. We are following the guidelines set by CDC and by the county. We are helping the county fill in the gaps of that education and prevention work. But it was just really important for us to be a community-based organization doing that work. So it's easy access to HIV screenings. It's easy access to HIV and AIDS prevention methods like PrEP, which is a brand new medication that's out on the market that has a 90% effective rate of keeping people from becoming HIV positive if taken how it's suggested to be taken. It's getting out there again into schools and to the different health fairs and the different arenas and talking about HIV and AIDS again. So we're in our almost finishing our first year of this program, and we just had our AIDS Walk, and which funds. So
that's an annual event.
The AIDS Walk is an annual event that happens in March. So it's. We're just really excited to be out there and to be talking about HIV and AIDS again. There was a little bit of a time where
people think it's handled.
Yeah, people think it's handled. The epidemic has changed.
It's changed.
It's changed.
Exactly.
But it's still an epidemic. We saw very high numbers in 2017 and 2018 in our county specifically of people becoming infected with HIV and AIDS. Like I said, the epidemic has changed. It can no longer be an epidemic of death, but it's still an epidemic. People are being infected in large amounts, and so we have work to do.
I was wondering, I noticed that you did have a legal counsel. Do you provide any legal resources, or do you send them to, say, Gray Law or other kind of organizations? Just kind of out of curiosity.
We do have a few lawyers that are our organization's lawyers.
Right.
We did have a lawyer that was housed in our center for a while.
Wow.
We still do refer our community out to different lawyers, ACLU.
That alone is a great resource, though.
Sure.
Where people could feel confident, because everybody does that. Oh, do you know someone I get? It's not. Okay, so you talked a little bit about the Community Resource Center. like, how does it work? You have like a little posting of times? How does that work?
So,
Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, it's a great 4,200 square foot facility. We have, like I said, partnered with different groups and organizations. We have PFLAG, which is a peer-based support group for friends and family of the LGBTQ community that meets the fourth week of the month. We have Thrive, which is a peer-based support group for adults 21 and over. We have Just Improv, which just started meeting at the center, where they facilitate funny improvisational drama that's just for the community. So there's all sorts of events happening. We have a website that you can log on to, and we have a calendar that lists all of our events that are happening on a constant basis.
So the website's probably the best place for people to go to.
Yeah.
And might as well just say it right now.
For sure. So it's www.diversitycollective.org.
Perfect. And they can just Diversity Collective and Google it, and that comes up as well.
We're the first. Well, you can just put in LGBTQ Ventura County, and I believe we're the first organization that comes up when you Google. So
you said you were starting some project called Community Closet, and by the time people see this, it may be already existing, or it may still be a dream. We don't know. But what's the dream? Describe the dream.
Well, one of the most challenging thing that I have as a community advocate, as a community leader, is our homelessness and our food insecurities here in the county. We all know that we're lacking in our services for our general population that is suffering from insecurities. And when you come from a marginalized community like the LGBTQ community, it's even more of a problem. It's magnified. We know that 50% of the LGBTQ youth are homeless.
Yeah, runaways.
They're on the streets. We know that our community suffers from job insecurities, which then leads to homelessness and or food insecurities, or just insecurities in general. So we have launched at the Community Resource Center a project that's in its baby dream form, which will help to alleviate our community's insecurities. So we have a 400 square foot closet that we have cleared out, that we will stock with food and homeless kits and clothing and any sort of insecurity that our community may feel.
And because you're a nonprofit, I just have to emphasize that allows you to get donations,
For sure.
which I'm just going to say it because it's the truth.
That's right.
I can't believe that y'all are making a ton of money running this thing.
No.
And yet you're still reaching out to people with less, which is incredible. So this is a real opportunity.
Yeah.
So you would be having the supplies there and then figuring out a distribution method.
That's right. Either, it could be daily. A community can come in daily to pick up supplies that they need. Maybe it's weekly. Maybe it's our community that's taking those supplies and taking them out into the county. We also want to launch programs that go along with this closet. We don't just want to we just don't want to cover immediate insecurities.
Like Band-Aids, right.
Right, like a Band-Aid to the problem. We also want to implement programs with the closet that help to sustain our community long term, like job placement programs,
right.
like managing your finances, mentorships, how to eat healthy.
Yes.
Different programs that'll go along with the community closet that'll help alleviate insecurities long term. So we're really excited about it. And we have a group of Cal State Channel Islands capstone students, 17 students, that are helping to come up with a marketing plan, with a list of resources that will support our community closet, and data that supports why we need a community closet. So we're excited to have those students. They're working on it right now, and they will have a final product for us at the end of the semester.
Wow. I think this is going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to believe in it. I cannot believe it. The time has flown. Joseph, thank you so much, and all the best to the Diversity Collective. And thank you for joining us. This has been Our Ventura TV. I'm MB Hanrahan, and I'll see you soon.